All right. I am back. Had some stuff to do, things to do, hair to remove. Had a bunch of stuff, so we are back now. Um, I'm playing Tessa, the Ghost Council, 4 mana 05. It is itself a spirit, so when I start to read this, you gotta pay attention to that. It's got the intensity thing on it, which is perpetual. It doesn't say intensity in the keywords, it says perpetual because intensity is perpetual. It never goes away once it shows up. I think if your commander goes to your command zone, you may remove perpetual effects. So if somebody like Davriel's this or does that white spell that like removes all abilities, and this goes to the graveyard, goes back to the command zone, I think intensity will go to 0 if you get screwed over like that. So who knows? But anyways, back to the actual text on it. Enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 spirit, and then this intensifies by 1. And your spirits get plus X plus O equal to your total intensity. And then it has the Obsidian clause where you exile it on your end step, and then it shows up on your next upkeep. So it dodges like sweepers and stuff, which is actually really cool. That doesn't mean the spirits do, and it doesn't create a ton of spirits, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I do have Obsidian in here, but it might not belong in here. It is a spirit, so you can scam people flickering this back in, or just have it come in with haste way later or whatever, and have it be like a 10/5. I think that's funny. There's 2 manlands that are spirits. I think the 4/3 one is not too good, especially how a lot of your dual lands don't actually generate snow mana, and it requires 3 snow to activate. But Mutavault doesn't. Mutavault is a potential 10/2 attacker out of nowhere because it's a spirit. Black Market Connections also makes spirits. This card is really, really good. And then if you can utilize the creature type of the 3/2s of Super Universal Tribal, then it just gets even better. This matters here because this creates black spirits. They're not just white. A lot of things that create spirits are actually just white spirits. This creates black-white spirits. That means this sees that, and that's very useful. A lot of flicker effects just work with this. It doesn't really care how it enters the battlefield as long as it enters the battlefield. So you got all like the cloud shifts, ephemerates, and stuff like that. Teleportation Circle, the 4 mana enchantment that flickers things on your end step, I don't think works with Tessa because Tessa returns on your end step. So this would have to return, but then your teleportation circle goes on the stack too, and it can't see Tessa. I don't think it works. Unlike, I think Thassa would work. No, Thassa's end step too. It's also blue, so it doesn't matter. There's a lot of options here, but I know like token strategies are kind of not strong, unfortunately. But I think in black-white, you have a little bit more of a hedge because you have like really strong black cards you can be running, like Grave Pact and stuff. I crafted Sorin for this deck because I like the plus on it, especially with this other one. Just giving my creatures lifelink for even like 1 turn can be a lot of life and be very, very useful. Can run more edicts, more like symmetrical sack effects and stuff, like Rankle and stuff like that, and probably not feel too bad about it. Anointed Procession in Mondrak are alright. I like Mondrak always. I don't necessarily always like Procession, but Mondrak is pretty solid. I like how this is pretty difficult to deal with later on. I just like that. Skyclave Apparition is a spirit as well, but it doesn't fly. It's not really why you would play it anyways, but there aren't too many spirits in the game I'm excited about playing just for the spirit buff thing on this card specifically, other than the tokens and stuff like Lingering Souls. But there is one in particular, and is this one. No, wait. Yes, it's this one, because this has First Strike, and I think that's really, really good. It's just like a giant First Strike attacker. It can be like a 10/1 First Strike. I really don't know if that's worth it, and the front side is not a spirit, but I haven't played with it before. So why not? And yeah, that's about it. Flicker, protect, make spirits go wide, kill your opponent. Let's roll. Anything else. It also, more often than not, wouldn't even trigger stuff like Skyclave Apparition because it enters as a much larger thing than 2 power. I don't know if I want to run Mana Rocks yet, because this is 4 mana, and you really want it to get going pretty quickly, but I don't know if I want to make room for Mana Rocks quite yet, so I'm not going to. I will make room for a different card. I don't like Doom Traveler. Maybe just another removal spell. What's the, Yeah, we can just play Humiliation, I think. That's fine. I need... Well... I don't think I can keep this. This Inquisition would have to be very, very good, and I just don't see that as being a thing, so... Slightly better, I guess. Oh, look! Turn 1 Mana Dork on the play. Fun. Land. If I can kill this, or they don't utilize it, maybe I can do something. They play their commander with 3 lands. Maybe I can do something. Apparently my opponent doesn't have anything. That's unusual. Well, you didn't have a 3-mana card last turn. Sure. Adeline. Is Adeline what I cast right now? Yeah, it's probably better than Tessa. They play Pock, and then I play Doom Foretold? Okay, they do not play Pock, so I do not play Doom Foretold. Guess I just play my commander. If Pock doesn't ever get trampled, this isn't too bad. Doom Foretold's looking real good if they don't play additional, like, things, I guess. Alright, well, silly me. So... what do I do? I don't really have anything to do. I guess I can Ephemerate Tessa. And then still cast Doom Foretold. It gets rid of the Lotus Cobra, which doesn't feel too useful, but it's probably better than anything else I'm currently doing. And I swing with these, and that makes this and big enough to... Oh, no, it doesn't! I thought it did! Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. I lost my Adeline. It doesn't matter. It's not like Adeline would ever actually hit my opponent, so... it wouldn't matter, really. Decline. Probably pushing damage just makes more sense anyways. Get rid of Tessa? Recast it? Or just reanimate it, maybe. Maybe just reanimate it. Decline. Play you, reanimate Tessa. Swing for 7. And now my opponent is dead, and they have to get rid of Portal or Pock. Probably get rid of Pock, because there's no reason, like, not to get rid of Pock. Okay, never mind. It triggered... oh, wait, no, it triggers in my... yeah. Active player goes in the stack first. They reanimate Adeline. I don't really care about that. They're just dead in the air. They're literally just dead in the air. Alright, doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything? Would that make me dead if they... would this kill me? Yes, this would have killed me. Alright, so I guess I did need the Teferi's protection. That is game. Opponent didn't swing with Pock for some reason. Oops. Alright, we did it. I actually beat Pock. like a metric boatload. I don't really know what I can do about that, though. It just completely destroys my 1/1s. A Strike It Rich gamer. Look at that. And a Minidork gamer, of course. Put this on white. This is probably better than Lingering Souls, because Lingering Souls kind of just doesn't really do anything right now. Except get destroyed by Roxanne meteors. So I can kill Roxanne once, and then not really ever again. Okay, they didn't cast it this turn. Lucky us. Yep. Let's just do this. I'm going to obviously plus on the spirit token, not on my commander. Doesn't really matter, though, because it still dies to their... What's the ultimate? -6. Okay, so let's do it again. Let's get rid of Roxanne. Swing for 2. I don't really want to exile my opponent's meteor, so I probably shouldn't. I feel like it's wrong to try to do that, especially how I have to lose my own card. Yeah, I'm just not going to do that. Obsidat. Alright, it's a way to attack my opponent's life total without going into combat. Alright, we did it. We did it. We killed a mana dork, and my opponent cast Strike It Rich, so they were back down on mana, and that was just enough to do it. We just forced them to use mana that only worked once, and then dealt with the other mana that could be repeating. Alright, we'll take that. Okay, it's almost been an hour, and every single opponent has been green. This is the haste if it's power 4. Toughness is you gain 4 life, and then 4 greater, yep. Maybe we want slightly more removal. I kind of, like, don't want to do that, but it might be what we just have to do. This is, serious pressure. I think I'm playing my commander next turn and not this. It depends what they do. Well, that's... That's probably... This probably absolutely has to die. I'm going to go ahead and say I probably have to Infernal Grass that and just not die to a 7-drop next turn. My opponent's deck is all giant creatures and stuff, so yeah, there's nothing to think about. I get to leave this Flicker up if they have some weird removal. Alright, yep, it looks like it was super crucial. Okay, well, the majority of our wins have been literally kill a green card that generated mana, and then the green deck lost. So that's been what we've done so far. That's been super impactful. But who knows? Maybe we could have beat the 7-drop anyways. I don't know what it could have been. No idea. Do I want to play... I think I want to play Selfless Spirit before I find a fetch land or whatever. My opponent has a removal spell. Fine. Fatal Push. Yep. Opponent always has all the mana dork cancers, but not me. No, sir. I think I want to keep curving out, so I will just cast this now. Makes sense to me. They don't have Fable the Mirror Breaker. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So of all these cards, I kind of want to play this one, but I think I'm going to swing and... Do I even want my commander in play? Like, it's not really doing much. I'll probably just play Elish Norn here. I could play Anointed Procession. Let's just play this. So when my commander resolves and stuff, I get, like, something out of it when it gets killed by a removal spell or whatever. And they don't have, like, end-step cantrips or anything, so I could have just blown out my opponent's whole turn, which is also very useful. I really don't care about Rosie here. Yep, look at that. Worked out. I cannot play this at the same time. Probably doesn't matter too much, though. That is a problem, but I have 1/1s to sort of remedy it. My commander gets to safely exile itself. Alright, I found an answer to this. I think it's just always right to cast this, though. Village Rites is... I mean, Milling Village Rites is like one less card, but I don't have to spend mana or sacrifice a creature. But I have to obviously spend my draw step drawing it, so it's less appealing here. This is a spot where I'm not too concerned about my opponent's commander, but I could be wrong. I'm definitely going to have to Rite of Oblivion the Chandra and just hope Grenzo doesn't scam me like it did last time. I guess. I don't know. I could also maybe ignore this, and I do have this to bop it for quite a bit here. They basically needed to have found a removal spell, but there are a lot of those in my deck, so it's not really saying much. So play this, and then we can go to attacks first. Can we? No, let's just play this and see what happens. Okay, that worked. So now Rite of Oblivion feels a lot more ideal. Is Dark Ritual change anything for me? I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, because I need more white, not more black. So it actually doesn't do anything. So we want to kill you, getting rid of, I guess, a food token that I don't care about. This could backfire. This could backfire. Okay, it did not backfire. Alright, I have a board presence, and it's pretty scary. Okay. What else did that exile? Oh, it exiles your... Wait, what happened? Oh, they just exiled it with that card specifically. I see. Okay. I think I'm going to swing with the Mutavault here. Actually, let's... I think I'm going to spend this Dark Ritual casting and then see what's on top. Could have done this in the opposite order. I am not the brightest bulb in the box. Alright, this works. It's just fine. It's just a lot of damage with the Mutavault. And obviously keep this going forever. Don't want my opponent doing anything degenerate. Like a sweeper. So a lot of the red cards are pretty useless right now. Especially with the tax of life loss. Which is pretty nice for us. That is scary, but it puts a clock in the game. And it's a pretty significant clock. I don't see a reason not to just simply cast it, even though it doesn't do anything. So I guess I'll just cast it. But again, I can't actually attack. My opponent has protection for the turn cycle. How many creatures do you have to sacrifice to this? 3? I could have done that, but I kind of don't want to. I feel like that doesn't make sense. Maybe it does to Elish Norn, but I didn't. I chose not to. My opponent's still under the same issue they were last turn. I don't think they played a land and chose to tap this on my turn, so if they did find a land, that was a little unusual. It probably doesn't matter. I don't know if 4 or 5 makes a difference out of the outs they could have. Really at all, honestly. Alright, we did it. Kind of did what I expected to happen to it last time I played against it. So I lost to it twice in a row, and then the third time I beat it. The first 2 times I played against it, it just kind of played a lot of mana ramp, so it felt like I was playing green again, which is, again, the strongest thing you're doing anyways. And then they played this very quickly, and I don't think they did anything cool the first time. The second time, they stole, like, the penultimate combo of cards that one-shot me. And then this time, they did what I kind of assumed to be the more expected thing, which is play a slower game and try to stabilize or keep me off the board, but... If they can't do that, they get rinsed. So really, this just shows that this commander like demands a bunch of mana, and maybe they do have it. They just didn't draw it, but they didn't keep a hand with even 1 mana ramp spell, which makes me think they're just not on that. And Curse of Silence is pretty useless unless I was on the play. Same with Thoughtseize. I don't know if I like Thoughtseize here. Maybe I do, because I can Thoughtseize a discard spell, and then like they also have nothing to steal with their commander with this hand, which is another thing I really like. I can also literally shut their commander off. Maybe I just do that. Like now they can't do anything with it, and I don't care if it hits me. That probably makes sense. I wasn't doing anything next turn anyways. I don't know what to name with Curse of Silence. I really have no idea. I can name like Liliana or something. I really don't know. So this does not work. This stays offline. That did not change anything. Death Touch, Lifelink. Alright. It's probably important to figure out what to name a Curse of Silence immediately. So I probably take the one ring and name Rankle. Rankle, Pitiless Trickster. Like that. It's probably fun. Fatal Push. They don't have a way to trigger Revolt. Alright, so I play this, and I guess I leave up Bitter Triumph instead of Reprobate. It's probably better. Short, yep, it's always happening. So I kind of want them to just mount, and then I go to kill it. My opponent just didn't mount it. Alright. That's interesting. Do I discard this Flowering of the White Tree? I am kind of dying. No. Yes, I have to. I have to. I don't think it's gonna do anything. I just gotta deal with this. So, no current answer. What does this do? Life, leak, haste, enters the battlefield. You may pay 1 life. So, if they do that, I lose my commander. Oh, no I don't. No I don't. Never mind. I keep forgetting. This is not in existence on my opponent's side. When it's my opponent's turn, it doesn't exist. So I'm not concerned with that ability. And I got a 1-1, so I'm not dying to this 3-1 anymore. They don't know about this, right? Nope. Wasn't bounced or anything. But yeah, I don't think we care about Rankle that much. That deals with this. Unfortunate. Doesn't deal with it forever, but it could feel like forever, as it doesn't... I don't have a way to deal with it. They do not make another scrapyard. Reprieve is funny. Do I crack my land here? Do I swing? I don't think I swing. My opponent's at 34. Let's look for something. I don't know what, but... It could just be another land as well. I'd be fine with that, sure. I like how my opponent's struggling against 1-1s. I don't see that too often. They're still looking for a land. Might have wanted to scry on upkeep if they needed one that bad. Okay. That can sacrifice Tiny Bones so they can get it back online. Which isn't really a big deal because it isn't really doing that much. It doesn't actually steal anything. Well, I mean, it does steal these, I guess. Those aren't the worst things to lose, though. There's no merit in holding on to this, I don't think. I'm just going to swing. I don't see how I don't just Cloud Shift. Oh, am I getting something? Value? Cloud Shift value? They're going to try to kill it? Love to see that. They have to sacrifice a creature here to make black mana, but they have the Tiny Bones to do that. Alright, we love to see this here. My opponent wisely got rid of the Perpetual. Look at him go. This also makes him swing for 2 more as well. And I don't care about Tiny Bones. I wouldn't reprieve it even if it was my opponent's entire turn next turn. I'm not concerned with Tiny Bones' text box. Reanimating my stuff is not really that relevant. I also have an army of 1-1s to just not care about it anyways, like if it were to really try to hit me. They did draw the full 4 off that Maze Mind's Tome. It did draw all 4 cards. Only 1 was a land, too. Brain Maggot. So I'm losing this no matter what. I might as well reprieve just to cycle it. They can sack a creature here to recast that. So I'll lose this instead, but there's no way around that. I was either losing the reprieve or losing the next card. I don't know. It probably works out the same. I mean, I guess in hindsight, I would have preferred to lose the reprieve, but there's no way to know. And who knows? Maybe they don't want to sacrifice. Maybe they don't have a land. Yep. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. So I get my card back. There's an argument to leaving the reprobation under their thing, but I don't... That doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. This does, though. Alright, well, we've got the beats coming now. Tessa actually got to attack, too. That's a world first. It took an hour and a half for it to actually successfully and safely swing alongside of its spirit tokens. Love to see it. Alright, so they can take this with the brain maggot. I'm sure they will. But this is definitely not feeling like a Tiny Bones game. This does have flying, though. This is a 1-3 that flies. Okay, they prefer to have cast Tiny Bones. I'm actually very surprised to see that. It does have Death Touch, but, like, do I really care? Oh, wait, my opponent's just dead. They're just dead. Never mind. We don't care about anything, yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, we shut down Tiny Bones, but I also didn't have to do that. Maybe removal was more important, but, I don't know. Too late. Oh, what's this? Is this the I lose instantly because I don't have an answer to this? Is that what's going on? No, well, maybe. Alright. I think reprieve is better than random 1-1 that can't actually even swing. Alright, please be Haro. Please be a Haro. That'd be kosher. Every time I see a 1-mana green card, I, like, die a little inside. Alright, my opponent has stumped themselves on the land tutor. Fascinating. Okay. Fan of my YouTube comment? I mean, content? My YouTube comments. Thank you, thank you. Doing alright. I guess I can play my commander if I sacrifice my Skrelf. Oh, it feels so dumb to do this, but, like, I don't know. Am I winning if I don't? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Roxanne's still an issue. It just kind of hoses my stuff, like, a lot. Oh, they have a random assortment of lands. They're not all snow lands. Inefficient. Inefficient. There's no Field of the Dead. So that's the thing. Alright. A lot of the games I've played, I've seen Fable and Mirror Breaker too, which is really bad. Prefer to not ever see that card. Okay, so I'm going to play this, and I'm going to cast Sorin and plus it, and make my opponent nervous. Do I swing with my command? Wait, of course I do. What am I talking about? Exiles itself. Let's say, do I block this shaman? I don't think I do. This is an unbelievable block to me. That is insane. I don't understand that block. I don't get it. But alright. That's what my opponent did. Just a little nutty to me. Oh, I would never... Even if I didn't have anything to use a treasure, I would still never block that. They get rid of one card, and it's Essica's Chariot. That's interesting. So we lose one of our tokens, and then have to deal with their commander now. It's going to be a little difficult. Okay, they don't cast it this turn, but now it has haste. Now it has haste. Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Sure. I feel like I would swing at my my Planeswalker and not crew the equip. Opponent makes the right decision, maybe? Sort of? We'll find out. No? Okay. This is colorless mana. There's no reason to leave it up. It is just straight colorless. This doesn't really do anything, but neither does this. Or, actually, my whole hand doesn't really do anything. So I guess I just cycle... I could make a token. No, I'm just going to keep pushing damage. Because the token kind of dies to what my opponent's doing anyways. No token will be generated in combat, so there's no reason to play this pre-combat. Yeah, I guess I just play these two cards, I guess. I don't know. None of it feels amazing. I would really like to draw a removal spell, but I guess that's not in the works. So play you, draw a card. Okay, play you. Okay, so the spirit token doesn't have haste, unfortunately, but my commander does have haste, so they can't swing with Roxanne anymore. They cannot swing with Roxanne. Like, they can cast it and ping something, but they can't also swing with it, because then they would just die. I think they would just die. The reflection can block Tessa. They kill 2 of the flyers, and then the chaplain is a... Okay, I think we did it. Can I be? Can I be? I think I can. But should I be? I think I shouldn't. Let's see what the hand tells me. Swords, the plowshare, D-Spark. Oh, no. Alright. Let's take that. I mean, their hand is pretty bad, though. It's actually, like, really bad. It's actually, like, horrible. So, I got... My hand's also abysmal if I don't draw lands. Like, so bad that I basically lose no matter how bad my opponent's hand is. I wonder if my opponent plays Mind Stone next turn instead of this. I feel like I would. Especially how I didn't do anything for the turn. You don't want me to just, like, kill this now? But, I still don't... I don't know. They have no way to gain life, right? Whenever you gain life... Yeah. Pay 1 life, get a lands? Oh, because, it deck thins, and... Okay, I did draw a land. I will play this. This is just the best card here. This can get all colors. Like, if you're a red-green deck, this can get a green land, even though it says swamp or mountain, because Stomping Grounds is a mountain in a forest. This can get that. So this has access to everything. That's why it's really, really good. It's just extremely efficient color fixing. Extremely efficient color fixing. I'm actually going to play Doom Foretold, because we know about the D-Spark, and if my opponent wants to D-Spark Doom Foretold, I am all for it. Yeah, it's a very, very versatile and essentially perfect lands. 5-color decks, this can get every color in Magic immediately, whereas like your lands don't tap for 5, but that fetches for any color at any given moment. Okay, my opponent had the land we knew about. Blood in the Snow, do we keep that? I feel like we do, which is ironic, because my opponent has Blood Artist Amalia, and that's just miserable in the face of what I'm doing, but sure. Alright, so we don't want to pay that much life anymore. Just gonna not do that. I also, like, kind of don't want to shock or ping myself. I guess I will. I think the treasure is probably more valuable. Do I Adeline? We're going to start paying a whole lot of life for things that may not matter. No, my opponent has Blood in the Snow on the top of their deck. There's no way I play Adeline. Just doesn't make sense to me. This attack makes sense, at least. These are spirits. Talked about that earlier. Okay, they do not have the mana for Blood in the Snow now. That is pretty significant. They do have a Blood Artist. Any sweeper is like 5 already. I don't think I want to commit more to this board. I really just don't think I want to. Leaving up Humiliation is also just good. So my opponent also needs more things other than just Amaliates for me to feel like I'm losing. They could have cast Blood in the Snow. They had the option. Okay, they just don't do anything. I don't have to cast this immediately because tapping these on my turn is identical. It only happens once. Okay, again, I don't really want to spend mana to pay a bunch of life. I would like to draw something that gains life. Maybe we can draw a life or relevant card a couple times here. This makes food tokens very slowly. I guess I can make some immediately if I go to cast this. I think I will. Let's put the counter here. Is this any token? Okay, so I don't even have to cast that to do anything right now. Alright. My opponent really wanted to cast the Blood in the Snow, I think. So this is kind of surprising to me. I would prefer to have more things going on, though, than what I currently have. More would be better. This is protection, right? Not indestructible. Alright. I'm gonna not totally bank on Mana Tithe. My opponent might also just concede when I Mana Tithe anyways. Assuming my opponent casts the card in question. Don't see why they wouldn't. Whoa! Okay, they did not. Sure. My opponent full stop said, no thank you, I am not going to get hosed by Mana Tithe. You got it. I like it. They're also not dead on this attack because I did not cast Lingering Souls. But if I did, they would have died. And that could have maybe forced them to Blood in the Snow, and then I won with Mana Tithe, so... Who knows? Maybe I made the wrong choice. We'll find out the hard way. Okay, I'm not gonna draw cards here. Blood in the Snow almost just straight kills me at this point. I only get one food token. This is... Can I generate lethal? I cannot. Okay. Does this give lifelink to its target? It does not. Okay. Okay. Yep. Then they crack the Al Sayed. They did not get rid of their Al Sayed? Why? What was the point of that? Okay, that's odd. I'm gonna Rite of Oblivion... No, yeah, I'm gonna Rite of Oblivion this, because the sweeper can hose me. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this, that. That way I can kill the Blood Artist, and not get hosed by all these triggers and stuff. I'll still wait. I don't have to do it right now. I'll still wait for my opponent's turn for the decision. Yeah. They're also almost dead to my commander's presence because it does have haste, and it's almost intense enough to one-shot. Well, no, it's not almost one-shotting. But it feels weird to kill a creature in response to a sweeper, but I can't afford to lose to all that life loss. But yeah, the Mana Tithe, not doing much. And I'm going to crack this land. Okay, good. I was about to say, I don't know if my opponent can come out of this. Still might not be good enough. What turn does this come into play? Okay. Name Spirit. I did actually draw a Spirit too, look at that. But I need more lands or I still lose the game. Thespian Stage. That's a card. Alright, I got nothing to do this turn. I do have efficient removal for Jace. That's pretty cool. Although, to be honest, Jace isn't really the most scary thing to see. I don't know what Thespian Stage means. I really have no idea. It's unusual. Okay. 3 or less. What did we do? Thirst for Discovery. You got it. Let's see if I can wipe this out. Nope, of course not. And Jace lives at 1, which is kind of miserable, but oh well. My commander is a serious problem for a mono blue deck, like a very big deal. Cyclonic Rift and River's Rebuke are really the only two big ones, or just like big blue creatures and stuff, that is also possible. But Jace is not that exploitative in this format. There's no, like, Valky. It's just like an honest Jace. Which actually is kind of cool. I still like it. It's pretty cool. Thing in the Ice. That's another mass bounce spell, but you kind of need all that to come together. I'm also in a borderline position where I don't need to cast more spells. Oh, don't Tails End me. Don't Tails End me. You... Wait. Whirlwind Denial. I can pay for that. Okay, that's fine. If they Tails Ended my trigger, I guess my commander would be gone for all eternity. Okay. Okay, they almost had it. They almost had it. I don't think they'd be running Stifle. Fine. This is a lot of discard spells. I don't even know if my hand matters. Probably doesn't. Oh, look, discard spell. Well. So, land, nothing, nothing. Lose game. Looks like the curve to me. They did not take the reprieve. That's unusual. Bajuka Bog. Never a fan of Bajuka Bog, honestly. Seems like a really good Thoughtseize. Triple removal spell? Are you out of your mind? Okay, I guess I'll take the targeted removal. Opponent's hand is worse than mine. Alright, shoot. Okay, that doesn't really do that much against me. This costs 5, so I can cast those. If they want to Pyrika's Libation, my, like, Anthem, I am not upset with that. Like, at all. I do need to draw a land, though. I mean, given my hand, I really need to draw a land. Or I'm probably completely screwed here. If they leave up the Edict, which I guess they should... Yeah, they do. Do I... Let's see, this puts me at 5 mana. That's not realistic to do anything. Neither of these deal with Sorin, so maybe I just play Sorin. Plus it goes up to 6, and then I can hit their commander. Feels kind of jank. Feels incredibly jank. Oh well, that's what I did. I get to poke my opponent 25 times. Love it. I'm sure they'll Pyrika's Libation at this point, though. Just to, like, spend their mana. No. Wow. Alright. This is a 4/4, so can't really do much about that. Okay, I'm technically sort of safe to Edicts now? Not really. That's actually not even true. Do I kill this? Becomes a land, and then how does it flip? 1 or fewer, or it can never do anything. Do I care about that? I feel like it's way more efficient this turn cycle to just get my commander going. Like, how does this not make sense? And I'll probably get rid of Elishnorn. This is probably not the game for that kind of card. Like, at all. So, makes sense to me. I can also chump block. No, they have double edict. They have double edict. Doesn't make sense. But if they edict, and then edict in response to my second spirit token to kill my stuff, okay, that's a lot of mana. Then I can reprieve and not feel too bad. Don't think I care about the... we're getting rid of Elishnorn here, right? They can exile it, put a counter here, but then this gains the text of it, which I don't care about. Yeah, this gaining the text of my Elishnorn is totally fine. And if hitting Sorin for 5 is fine as well. Okay, they chose not to. They could have done it. They could have just put a counter here. I feel like it was free to just put a counter here before damage. Because it's going to exile the Elishnorn anyways. I could cash in Sorin, but then the Soul Cauldron obviously doesn't care about that. Okay, that was a pretty good draw, actually. It's a pretty good draw here. This gains the text or the abilities? Activated abilities. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Get rid of you. And I can reprieve the libation here. They did say enchantment, and I do not care about this enchantment enough to defend it. So I'm just gonna let that be a reality of mine. Alright, and they know about a removal spell, so I think it's fine to go to my opponent's turn, and then exile, or kill this in response to putting a counter on it. Like that. Oh, I should have killed it with a card my opponent did not know about. That was probably a mistake, but I mean, this is a clue token, and that does have value. So I'd rather not give my opponent a clue token, if I can help it. I think that makes sense. Don't see how it doesn't. One or fewer. Only if a player has one or fewer. Okay. But it comes in tapped? Sure. I am sort of winning this repeating race here between us. This has lifelink, so let me just kill it again here. Oh, Grave Pact would have been so good if I had a bajillion black mana. Oh, it'd be so good here. Oh, no. Oh, well. Reprieve is good, though, because it bounces spells back to my opponent's hand, and it replaces itself, so it could be hard to, like, flip this land again, given that situation, but who knows. They also need an answer to the board pretty soon. But they have, like, infinite mana, sort of. Okay, that's one additional card in hand. Rankle's Prank. Can be cast twice. Can be cast twice. They did the whole shebang. I think I'll just do this. That's fine. It shuts down the rest of my opponent's like turn, but that was a really, really, really good card here, unfortunately. I don't think my opponent... Okay, they did not. They did the 4 life the first time, and I don't think they wanted to do that. So maybe reprieving it was a mistake because they could reconvene, and I allowed them to. Yeah, maybe it was a mistake. I should have just let them lose 4 life. Oh well. We're still, like, winning. This comes in tapped. They have to pay life to draw more than 1 card here. I'm gonna play the land. It's another black source. My opponent already has 1 or fewer. It's not... Doesn't matter, just play the land. Obviously, surveilling is good. This is a profoundly difficult card to deal with other than edicts, and we've already seen 2 of them. So this could be very good. Could be very good. If it dies, though, my opponent can Soul Cauldron it, and that is a problem. That is a problem. But my commander currently, I believe, is lethal on its own. Oh, it's close to being lethal. If they draw a card, okay, now it is lethal on its own. And that's it. That's game. Because this is tapped, and yeah. Okay, this is a black-white Clement, which makes 2 2/2s. All right. So we do a good job at having a board presence above opponents, so maybe this is a favorable matchup if it's black-white creatures. Let's get our Surveil land, looking for lands. That's not a land. I don't think... Yeah, reprobating their commander is useless. So. This man is unrecognizable. I know. I know, I committed the most egregious of crimes. Alright, it does look like black-white creatures, which I'm actually at a disadvantage currently, especially having not drawn any lands. Okay, I'll just take 2. What? Do you not have a land? What is going on? Okay. Opponent does have a land. You got it. Let us kill that. It specializes for 2 mana, right? Yes. Cavernous Souls. I can name Praetor or Phyrexian. I guess I'll name Phyrexian. Playing a 3/3 is better than doing anything else. I could have played this and then played this next turn and drew cards. Maybe there was an argument to doing that. Especially if I really need to draw land. Maybe it made more sense to Lingering Souls last turn. Because then my opponent probably doesn't worry about trying to kill them or anything. And then I play this and then try to draw cards that way. Assuming my opponent had mana to not kill this. Alright. They did not? Wait, what? Okay. I feel like this is... What? Sure. Okay, they didn't block either. I'm a little confused. Don't think I would have taken this route from my opponent. But they did. Interesting. Alright, so we have flying. And assuming my opponent just brazenly pays a bunch of life, which people always seem to do, this kills people very quickly. It's more dangerous than the One Ring, actually, because people just like to commit Sudoku when they play black market connections. I can also maybe scam them with the crucial protection turn. Oh no, my... I don't know. What do you... Anything but reanimate? I don't know. I have no idea what you take. Oh. I have no idea. Wait, they took Cloud Shift? I didn't even think about it, like it didn't register. They took Cloud Shift. Okay, I guess. Okay, play Giant Killer. I'm gonna make the first move here and try to take the Cloud Shift back. My opponent's upset with it existing, so I guess I'll try to make it exist. Okay. So I leave that in the graveyard. Right? Do I leave that in the graveyard? Yeah. Alright, well I have protection from everything this turn cycle. Yep, there they are, paying all the life in the universe again. They also can't make me discard because I have protection. Otherwise, losing the reanimate would probably be GG, because then I can't get my commander back. This is a mistake. You don't want to swing. I don't take damage. And now I can hit you. Yeah, you don't want to swing like this. I mean, it doesn't do damage anyways, so there's no reason to swing, but alright, opponent wasn't aware. I think that favors us. They can specialize whenever they want, right? So they could do it immediately, and those zombies just show up. Something to be wary of. Alright, I guess the attack didn't punish them in any way. Alright, they played a Danto Vanguard, which they cannot reasonably pay for life to give indestructible at this point. Probably struggle severely with any sort of life gain, because they're like a black-white creature deck, like I had said. And a lot of people have a incredibly nasty habit of killing themselves with black market connections. Okay, so I like this commander a lot. I've only played against it once. I didn't see the mirror or anything today, but I had played against it once before. I like its ability. It reminds me of Obsidian, which was in here for a second. I ended up taking it out because it's an adorable card that's kind of on theme, but it doesn't really do anything other than that. I know it is a spirit, but it was already hard enough. Actually, I could probably count on one hand how many times in, what, 2.5 hours? 2.5 hours this actually swung. Like, it has haste, too, when it comes out of exile, and it doesn't really ever get to swing, right? It's just sort of flying over whatever's in play was what ended up happening most of the time. The curve was fine. I like how I can play mostly 1, 2s, and 3s. There's a lot of options and varying cards you could run instead of what I was running. I did sort of like the Twin Blade Geist. I replaced the 1 mana first striking thing with this, but I only got to see this once, and I died to Adeline, so I don't know, it like couldn't really swing. It doesn't do a good job at blocking because my commander's not in play to keep intensity. Well, usually. I mean, there's arguments to sometimes doing that, but I never found myself not exiling it, the bottom part, and just leaving it in play. I think there was 1 or 2 times it was right to do that, and both times I died anyways. So it's probably always right to just exile it. Which means the Twin Blade is not really that exciting. You can aura, like, a future spirit that flies, and that's pretty cool. You can even put it on this. I don't know how you would. It would just fall off when I exile it again, but that's a possibility. Rite of Oblivion was good. Oh, I got the Vault. Look at that. I got the Vault. Nice. You get that, like, what, 3 times a year or something? Yeah, I guess we'll open it after. The protection spells were nice, all the flickers and bounces. I may have wanted more. I know there's, like, Lauren's Escape and stuff, but the ones that exile and return are obviously way better because it gives me the ETB effect on top of everything. And I don't know if I wanted any more, but I could see an argument to, like, dropping, like, Skrelv or something for a surprise spell out of hand or whatnot, but I don't know. I think it was a healthy amount of them. The major difference between this one and, say, like a different one, a different list that you may see, is I had no mana rocks, and this probably would be fine with them because it costs 4. Just playing a turn 2 rock every single game and playing this on turn 3 is certainly a possibility, just like Davriel. Basically every single 4-mana commander that is not Pock, because Pock does it automatically, probably just is fine with mana rocks. I just wanted to make more room for on-theme cards, and it felt fine. I don't really know how many games I would have won or lost having a bunch of rocks in play, rocks in my deck to just cast this on turn 3. But, you know, as an option. It does make your 2-mana cards a little awkward when you do play a 2-mana mana rock. It means you're not leaving up a removal spell or anything on turn 2, and also not killing your opponent's mana ramp dork if they have one. And the vast majority of commanders I had played against were green. That's just where we really are at this point with this format, and it's kind of annoying and a little unfortunate, but something you just have to play into it, right? I don't even really like Fatal Push that much. It's not too difficult to trigger Revolt in a deck like this, but it's just the fact that green is all over the place. You really want to kill the Llanowar Elves of the formats, so you just really want that. Reprobation and... what is it? Not that one. The Humility. The 1-mana Humility for 1 creature. Yeah, this one. Patriarch's Humiliation. I really like this card a lot. You could also run Davriel, which minus 3/3 and loses all abilities. I guess that effect is called Humiliate at this point, because I know the original is Humility, so I guess it's Humiliate, but I usually call it like Frogify or whatever. But yeah, humiliating cards is very useful. Yeah, it also leads to pretty cool games, right? I like the play style, right? Yeah, I guess I would admit it's pretty fun to play and probably fun to watch. It's just, you know, getting value that your opponent can't actually deal with board wipes. And once it resolves, counter spells kind of fly out the window. I mean, that's for most decks, but this one in particular is like really annoying for blue decks to deal with. It's kind of funny. I think I beat Jace. Did I beat Jace once? I played against it. I lost the first time. And the new Jace, the 2-mana Jace with all its plotting and scheming, I think I beat it rather easily the second time because I didn't have the perfect wash away. Guardian of Faith I never got to use, and it doesn't flicker, it just phases out. It is a flashing spirit, and you could like surprise your opponent with like 12 damage or something, but most games it was over before Intensity 6. I was really over before like Intensity 5. It's kind of like the turning point. So if you're satisfied with just 5 Intensity triggers, then, you know, don't expect any more than that. Therefore, don't expect your like Twin Blade Geist to swing for 20. You know, you're not really gonna exploit this more than just like 5, unless the game is like crazy. It's going super deep and no one's died yet. Rosie was kind of cool. I only got it in play like twice, and the 1/1 counters are neat, but I don't have a multitude of spirits triggering this. It's just 1 spirit a turn, unless I have Mondrak or whatever the other Anointed Procession. Or flickered this with a flickering card, but there weren't a lot of options to do that. The lifelink on just a couple flying big threats is very satisfying, and it lets you be very offensive and not have to like block all day because you can just keep swinging and outpace your opponent with the life gain. There were not a lot of games where that matters too much because a lot of decks you play against sort of destroy you in one massive turn, like a Tolly, Pock, Emoti, Roxanne, and there's a few others, notably all the green ones, because they play a big green thing, and it doesn't matter if you're at 45 life, they're probably going to kill you with Craterhoof Behemoth, or just hit you 3 times, and you can't really block it effectively, and you're not going to outrace them, usually. So I don't really know how efficient all that life gain is. The best part about it is like exploiting Necropotent's black market connections. I did not have Phyrexian Arena in here, but that would be one of them. Stuff like that is pretty efficient when you're paying a bunch of life. I could make the argument, and probably will, that these could just be tutor effects, and instead of playing these, especially on the same turn I'd play my commander, because they are 4-drops, a little janky, is play tutors and always just try to gun for Grave Pact. That way all the big scary things die when any of your small, less scary things die. Grave Pact, this is a Grave Pact deck through and through. If you can get this in play every game and your opponent can't blow it up or whatever, you're sitting real pretty. There's not a lot of strategies that do too well against this, which is really nice. But that's not always the case. I've played this and still lost. I've played it and had it get Besaged. Besage's around, like Pock can just Besage you it, you feel miserable, but that's still fine, I guess. You would probably prefer to play against Pock than like Atali and Emoti, just because you have a lot of removal for simply Pock, and maybe you can ignore whatever else they may or may not be doing. It's not usually how it pans out, but you never know. But yeah, I don't think I like the Twin Blade Geist, having just said everything I said about it. And I also probably don't like Guardian of Faith. I think the big Guardian is better. Or whatever, the other spirit, you know what I mean. The one with Defender. Faithbound Judge. I like this card as a card. I just find it very satisfying. And it kind of just sits there and can annoy your opponent just sitting there. And then once it dies, it's 7 mana. You put your opponent on a serious clock. I didn't really have a lot of games where I had like 7 mana in play, though, to be honest with you. But if you wanted like Spirits Matters cards more, I guess you could go this route. It's probably not the best thing to be doing, to be honest, though. I don't like Moonshaker Cavalry. It's 8 mana. I never really had more than like 2 or 3 spirit tokens. I mean, it gives my commander flying the turn I play this, right? Is flying, right? Yeah, it's flying instead of trample like Craterhoof. But this is probably not the deck for it. This is definitely not Craterhoof. Craterhoof is better just because it's in green. This is not in green. I mean, you could play both in a green-white deck, but I don't think this is that kind of deck. I think that's all I have to say. Bloodghast is cute. I had it in here to start, but once I hit record or the stream button, I took it out. I don't know. Like it can pepper your opponent. It can also just do nothing, and it is double black, so it's probably not gonna come in turn 2. And even if it does, it might not even efficiently attack. And I'm not making a boatload of land drops, right? Like if I end most of my games at 7 lands, then this only really had a chance to reanimate 2 to 4 times, and that can be cool. It's hard to give it haste, because a lot of times by the time my opponent's at 9, or at just 10, they're dead to the flying spirit that I generate every turn, and not necessarily Bloodghast, but it could work. Yeah, I can see an argument to putting it in here. Yargle, if you're crazy, you could Yargle it up. Not too many spirit cards, really. At least none that like care that they're a spirit, because the text box might just be better than it being a spirit and being big matters. Other than Skyclave. Well, no, actually Skyclave is an example of what I just said. Never mind. Yeah, there's not really spirit cards matter deck, and I'm not playing Doom Traveler. Just don't recommend that. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to take in or put in, but I would recommend this commander. I like how it works. I think it's kind of cool. I like the inevitability, sort of. Like, once it gets going, it's always satisfying to me to have, like, a self-sustaining engine in a commander. And you're black-white, one of my favorite color combos. Yep, that's it. I like this deck. I think it's cool. I probably don't like Rosie now that I'm looking at it more. And the list will be slightly different of whatever I upload and probably better than what you saw. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it. If you have ideas to make it better, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.